Well, this is nice to share. The Chicago Bears just got a double dose of good news, and I'm talking about backup guard center Ryan Bates. Back for a full practice yesterday on Thursday, and that's the first time since the end of July. But just like any good news, going to share a little bit of injury news, kind of bad news. We're talking about starting defensive end Demarcus Walker. He was limited in practice due to a growing injury. He hadn't been bothered by this on Wednesday. He had a full practice, so this kind of appears to be a new issue. Rest of the injury report, pretty much the same. Wide receiver Keenan Allen, all of these guys are limited. Keenan Allen with the heel, defensive end Montez Sweat with the toe, defensive tackle Zach Pickens with the groin, and Amagaji with the quad, running back Roshan Johnson with the toe. So we're kind of looking at this, having both starting defensive ends practicing only on a limited basis. Less than ideal, but we have some nice depth now. Some extra help with Dominique Robinson, Daniel Hardy. He came on super strong. Austin Booker, and also new defensive end signing, Daryl Taylor. Man, that was a great signing. So I think we're going to be okay. So let's get back to the double dip, right? Let's get back to the double dose. The other piece of good news outside of Ryan Bates, Nate Davis. He's mostly been a disappointment during his time in Chicago, right? Health related mostly, family related as well. There's grace for that. But if you recall in week 1 of last season, he was a huge reason why the team was so poor on offense. He just missed too much of the offseason. He came out super flat. And this year, still missed a big chunk of the offseason, but he's been healthy and practicing for several weeks. No excuse this year, right? No excuse for him getting off to a slow start. And it's actually really nice that Ryan Bates is healthy. That kind of gives some oomph behind him, maybe some motivation to play through some injuries. And if we're looking back to his time in Tennessee, there is kind of some stuff from the coaching staff that he wasn't super loved in the locker room by the coaching staff because he showed a hesitancy to play through injuries. I don't know how much veracity there is to that, but there are several articles that are kind of intimating towards that. But let's just move forward. I think also with Davis, there's kind of a twist added because I think we're going to see how he's going to perform from day one because Jeffrey Simmons, he's a stud and he's going to be playing opposite Nate Davis. And this is kind of an interesting tidbit to remember as well. Simmons, he used to square off with Davis in practice. They know each other well. So the question is he going to dominate Nate Davis in the way that like Kenny Clark did last year? Will Davis hold up? Because this is a tough defensive front. Is this a new year? Is this a new direction? And I want to go to this article on heavy.com, and this kind of explores an idea here. The fact that Nate Davis might be kind of on a short leash here. Is this a put up or shut up kind of season for him? And should Nate Davis be worried about his job security right now? A lot of questions, and most of the questions on this offensive line really hinge on this starting right guard spot. And we're looking to Davis. He missed multiple weeks during the preseason. That's a soft tissue injury again, other minor ailments, but this is like right on the heels of a first season with the team that he inked a 3-year, $30 million contract. And last year, he missed 6 games with a high ankle sprain. And so we're kind of looking, is he going to do differently this week? And that was asked to the Chicago Tribune's Brad Biggs. He's a longtime team insider. He was asked on September 4th whether Davis is on a short leash. And I'm just going to have him just answer it directly. And this is really good. The Bears expect Davis to play good football. If he doesn't, they've got enough depth to swap him out. But I'd bet top dollar that offensive line coach Chris Morgan really hopes he doesn't have to make any changes in the near future. If he were a baseball manager, he'd have worn out a path from the dugout to the pitcher's mound because of the constant back and forth. Excuse me. Sorry about that. The Bears head into the season hoping for continuity on the offensive line. That's been fleeting the last several seasons. If they can avoid making changes, they might have a chance to grow and improve. And I'm going to close this article down. You guys check out that article in its entirety. It's fantastic. So we're looking at a guy that's 27 years old. If he doesn't remain healthy and stay on the field, I think this year is it. And whether the team benches him, that's going to depend on the total health of the offensive line. And we're kind of had a month past when Eberflus put him on notice. And this was before he started practicing again from that soft tissue injury. People say you can't lose a job because of injury. I don't think that's true. I think if the guy that's playing there gives our team a good look and a good benefit for him being on in that position, then it's a competition. Or the other guy could take it over. That's just not at guard. That's at all positions. And if we kind of look back during his time at Tennessee, it's pretty clear that missing games was nothing new for him. I mean, he started 54 games over his first 4 seasons with the Titans. Durability popped up, missed 4 games in 19, 3 games in 21, 5 games in 22. And now we're looking at the depth behind him. We've got Bill Murray, right? Ryan Bates, huge thing that he is now healthy. And it's kind of going to be up to Davis to fight for his job. And most of the fight is him being available. And to hear it from Davis back in August, when the mind is right, the body's good. I know I'm a special player. I'm just excited to showcase that. And I actually agree. When Davis is in the lineup, he's a really good guard. We just haven't seen enough of him at this point. And it's just so good that Ryan Bates is healthy. Now he can slide in and go in for Jenkins if he needs to. He can go in as well as with Murray to spell Davis if it's needed. And it's just a really good thing. So it's 2 really good pieces of good news, and I'm here for it. So let's kind of take a look at what Davis is going up against. I mentioned defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons. Let's look at him. He's 6'4". He's 305 pounds, defensive tackle. And this is a guy that was talking all sorts of trash in the offseason, making threats about knocking nail polish off with Caleb Williams. That's really interesting, but Simmons should be taken seriously. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. He's a 2-time All-Pro second team. Can really get after the passer. 26.5 sacks to go with 3 forced fumbles. And there's also another concern on the defensive front for them, and that's edge Harold Landry III. 6'2", 252-pound edge. Came off an ACL tear last year, but he's had 10.5 sacks following a 12-sack 2021 season. So he's another force to be taken seriously by the Chicago Bear offensive line. Talking about Ryan Bates a little more, the only other notable change was that Ryan Bates was elevated to be a full participant, and that's just a huge development, like I said, providing key depth at center and at guard. He can also provide starter caliber snaps at either spot in case the wheels fall off. Let's just hope they don't. Let's hope this line gets a chance to play together and solidify. And as a whole, it looks like this team is ready for action. And let's listen to Coach Flus one more time. I like their mindset. I like their mentality where it is. We started the spring in shadowboxing mode, and then we moved into training camp, into sparring mode, and now we're into the bout. Now we got to fight. And the Titans, they have a formidable defensive front. Their offense is pretty recognizable personnel-wise, but their defense is moving to their new 3-4 base. So the talent is a little different, the distribution of the line. It's just kind of like a new look than what we have seen previously from Tennessee. And to hear from Coach Flus, now we're focused on us, honestly, what we do, how we do it, and doing it really well. That's what we're focused on. We know the people that we're playing against. So obviously a really good wideout core. They've got 3 dynamic receivers that are good, all accomplished. The runners have experience too. Both are accomplished. They've got the line. They've got some new pieces on the line, but are really skilled on the one side of the ball, offense for sure. And they've got a new center. So they're experiencing some of the things that the Bears are experiencing. You know what? On paper, the Bears should very well win this game, but we got to prove it on the field, and I can't wait to watch it. I hope this was helpful to you. You guys bear down, like and subscribe as always, and can't wait for Sunday. See ya.